you guys are down on the field after the game for fans to come down and meet you. Do you like doing that?
I absolutely love it. I want to be that inspiration for just maybe even one child that wants to be a dancer.
But what does this ruling basically mean?
So the McGirt ruling, it basically just deciphers that status of reservation land, and the state has to recognize that. My seizures start picking up significantly. We contacted my neurosurgeon. Immediately he was like, we need to do an MRI. He was like, looks like there's something in your brain. I went to my checkup appointment, and that is when I found out it was not benign, it was malignant.
Did they give you a life expectancy or anything like that?
They did. She said 15 months to 2 years.
Whoa, 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 clear out the room, I'm coming through, they wanna see what I'm about.
And that's the name, you know?
Drill, I'm on a paper route. Extra,
You gonna hook me up? Okay.
Today's trying to top it. I put commas over bullshit. Yeah, I put that on mamas. They trying to block all my blessings.
Hey, welcome back to the People of Oklahoma podcast, where I talk to very interesting people that live here in Oklahoma, and the person that I have on today is very interesting. Her name is Saige Maxville. She is a Native American activist. She is a cheerleader for the Tulsa Oilers indoor football team and the Tulsa Oilers hockey team, and she is a brain cancer survivor. Let's give it up for Saige in the house.
Thank
Saige.
you.
So, can I say that? Brain cancer survivor?
Yes,
Can
you
I say
can.
that? Okay, cool. Well, we're going to dive into more of that here in a little bit. But I kind of want to start off with, how did you become a Tulsa Oilers cheerleader? That's pretty cool.
So I've known about the Oilers for plenty of years, but you know there's a age requirement for trying out. So I wanted
Is
to
there?
wait.
What's the age?
18.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, so were you trying to get on there at like age 16?
I was actually trying to get on there right as soon as I turned 18 years old. So like I said, I've known about the Oilers for a while, and when I turned 18, I was like, I want to try out, because I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. Love dancing.
How old are you right now?
I'm 25.
Or 25. Okay.
Yes.
So 18, you tried out for the Oilers.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I was interested in trying out.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I wanted to. And I actually had a seizure the day of the tryouts, because I'm an epileptic. So I've had seizures for a while. So I was sad, was kind of upset. I didn't get to try out. So I put that dream, because it was kind of a dream of mine to kind of be like a semi-professional or professional cheerleader, on the back burner.
Right.
I put that dream on the back burner for a few years. And then after I got through brain cancer, my best friend at the time, she was on the Oilers dance team. And I was like, I really want to do this, because I love dance, and I'm finally done with cancer treatment, and you know, I want to get back into dancing.
Yeah.
So I tried out for the Oilers about 3 months after I was done with cancer treatment. So I was pretty fresh off chemo when I tried out for the hockey team's dance team, guys, girls. And I was even worried that I might not even make the team, because I was like, I don't know if I have the strength. I wasn't at my fullest potential, and I knew that, but I was going to push myself no matter what.
Like how far after chemo did you try out?
3 months.
3 months,
Yeah.
man, that's crazy.
I finished chemo in May of 2022, and then that's when I tried out.
Jeez.
Was that summer in August. It was like August, I think, yeah. So about 3 months, yeah.
That's crazy. 3 months?
2 to 3 months, yeah, afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
And actually, that's how we met. So, funny story. I went to a Tulsa Oilers indoor football game. The mascot, Goldie, was sitting right next to me and had a little cane, and he was like, poking people. And I'm videotaping, right? And then he poked you, right?
Yes.
He poked you. You turn around. You wave at me. I'm like, it wasn't me. But then I was like, why does she think it was me? And then I was like, wait, I have a camera. And she looks back and see a guy filming. She probably thought it was me. So
I did. I thought it was you.
I
was just like, oh, there's a camera. He's filming. I better wave and put on a show.
And I was like, why does she think it was me? And I was like, well, the guy pointing a camera like that, Steven, duh. She thought it was you. But after the fact, after I posted some videos later that night, someone liked one of the photos like at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And it was you.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this person? So I looked you up, and your Instagram bio was brain cancer survivor, Native American activist, or what? It wasn't Native American. What was it? Was it Native American activist on your Instagram bio?
I honestly don't remember.
And then it was Tulsa Oilers cheerleader, and I was like, that person I want to have on my podcast. So I reached out to you and you're like, yeah, sure. Let's do it.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad you're on it. So did you grow up here in Oklahoma?
I did. I've lived in Sand Springs since I was a baby.
So you did you go to Sand Springs Elementary, high school? How'd you like that?
Honestly, I did not like the Sand Springs school
system.
Yeah,
let's talk about it. Let's throw shade on Sand Springs.
I'm not going to throw shade on Sand Springs.
You suck. No, I'm just kidding. You don't suck.
I just didn't enjoy the school system, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's why I want to become a teacher and go somewhere else and I can
So you want to be a teacher?
I do want to be a teacher.
Sweet. So are you in school right now?
I am in school right now.
Where you go?
I go to NSU.
NSU?
Yes,
you like it?
I do.
Tahlequah?
No, Broken Arrow.
Oh, yeah. They had to have a Broken Arrow branch.
Yes.
Right off the creek, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
right off the Creek Turnpike. So did you dance in high school?
I did dance in high school.
So were you part of like the cheerleaders or pom squad?
I was on the dance team. I was on the varsity dance team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
From sophomore year till my senior year.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. That's great. And so grew up dancing, wanted to be a Tulsa Oilers cheerleader, and had seizures, and then you got how did you find out that you had cancer?
So this is a really weird story. And
I love weird.
Yeah, it's kind of a long story,
I love long stories.
So basically, after I was transferred to an adult neurologist, we did an MRI, pretty basic.
Because you're having seizures, and that's the reason why you went to a neurologist.
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
Okay,
so I was too old to have a pediatric neurologist. They switched me to an adult neurologist.
Okay.
So after I seen my adult neurologist, my first appointment with him immediately he was like, we need to do an MRI, we need to do an EEG at home for like 5 days, and an EEG is an encephalogram, and what it is they put these sticky things all over your head, and basically what it does is it measures and records your brain activity, and it can tell if you're having seizures.
Okay.
And so the MRI came back, the EEG came back, and he was like, looks like there's something in your brain. Looks like it could be a tumor, and you're also having seizures all the time. So we have to pay attention to this. It looks benign, so we're going to say that it's benign. And then he said it also could be slow growing too. So we were like, we're not going to remove it right now, but if something, crazy happens, then we might have to. Well, a couple years down the road, something crazy happens. My seizures start picking up significantly. And so we contacted my neurosurgeon, and he looks at it again, and he's like, yeah, maybe we should get it removed. So we set up the appointment, and he said, it looks benign, so we're just going to remove this benign brain tumor. And,
And how old are you at this point?
I was 22 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, 22 years old, yeah.
Okay.
And we removed it, and even after the surgery, after he removed it, when he seen my parents, he told them it looks benign. So I think I got it all out, so it's great. And then a month later, I went to my checkup appointment, and that is when I found out it was not benign, it was malignant. Yeah.
Man. So what, you said malignant?
Yeah, malignant. That means cancerous.
Okay, that means cancerous.
Yes.
Like, what did that feel like? Like, hearing the words, you have cancer, like, oh, wow, yeah. What was that like?
So for a 22-year-old woman in her prime, it felt like a truck hitting me.
Yeah.
Just over and over and over and over and over again.
Like, are you in shock, or do you just instantly start crying?
I was in shock.
Yeah.
I didn't really start crying until after I left the appointment room with my mom.
So your mom was with you?
My mom was with me.
Oh, thank gosh.
Actually, what was interesting about it was when we were in the waiting room, it was kind of taking a while for me to see my neurosurgeon. This was my appointment after my brain surgery. It was we were waiting a while, and after we got into the room, the neurosurgeon still hadn't came in there for a while, and while we were still waiting on the neurosurgeon, my dad called my mom and said, why is there a radiologist, oncologist looking for Saige, trying to set up an appointment? And my mom is like, I'm not sure, but let's find out, when her doctor comes in. And so he finally came in. That's what he So the phone call at home when we were at the doctor's office from my dad was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It gave me a weird feeling before the doctor came in.
Right.
And then when he said it was malignant, I've never in my life seen a doctor shed tears before. And my neurosurgeon shed tears when he told me it was malignant, because he was so sure it was benign, and I did not doubt him at all because of how accredited he is and his credentials as a neurosurgeon. I mean, he's probably the guy you'd want to go to if you needed brain surgery, like in the country. And that's not exaggerating. Yeah.
Was he here in Tulsa?
Yes, he's here in Tulsa.
Okay. Well, what hospital is he with?
He actually does surgery at Hillcrest.
Okay.
But he works at a different facility. His name is actually Dr. Thumbaswamy.
What is it, Dr. Thumbaswamy?
Yes, Dr. Michael Thumbaswamy.
Huh.
Yes.
What nationality is that?
I think he's from the Middle East, actually.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
That's
yeah,
a cool last name.
He lives here, but yeah, I think he's from the Middle East.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a great doctor.
Great doctor.
I don't doubt his professional ability at all. So
Yeah. Man, so you find out that you have actual brain cancer. Like, when do you start chemo and all that stuff?
So I started chemo. I was diagnosed in October of 2020. That's
Okay.
when I was diagnosed. I started chemo late December, early January of 2021.
So what did they give you a life expectancy or anything like
They
that?
did.
Oh my gosh, what was it?
So after I seen my neurosurgeon.
Is that okay if I ask that?
No, it's okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
okay. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
You just slap me if I say anything.
No, it's okay. I'm very vulnerable and open about talking
I love
about
that.
my
Thank you.
cancer. Yeah.
I love that.
Because it's important to get this out because my cancer is very unique. So it's important
I don't
to.
know, it just feels like kind of personal to ask someone their life expectancy, right? It's like almost asking like, hey, how much are you worth? Like I mean, it just I don't know. I just felt kind of weird, but I'm glad you're being vulnerable. And
I am very open
Yeah.
about it. They did. So after I seen my neurosurgeon, they set me up with a cancer doctor
Mhm.
in Tulsa, Dr. Nandakola.
Okay.
She is amazing. I seen her. That is when I found out what my life expectancy was.
What was it?
She said 15 months to 2 years.
Oh, ooh.
And my mom and my dad were in the room when she said that.
What is that like?
The room was very quiet. Yes, it was very hard. That was honestly, finding out I had cancer was really hard. But finding out afterwards that I had 15 months to 2 years to live, that was like just the cherry on top to a complete disaster. I was like, how? I don't even feel like I have cancer. Like, I'm this vibrant, energetic, upbeat, spunky, peppy, bubbly young woman, and she's in her prime. I'm living my life. I'm having a great time. I don't feel sick. And then all of a sudden, someone's telling me, you're going to die.
In less than 2 years.
In less than 2 years, probably. And that is also another doctor that I seen shed tears.
Yeah.
And she told me I was her youngest patient. Yeah.
Man. So like you don't even feel sick at all. Like
No.
you feel great. And like
I just had seizures.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. So like what do you do you do you even have any hope at this point? Like after hearing a doctor tell you this, or are you kind of like, all right, thanks for the info, let's get to work and try to beat this thing? I mean, like, off your initial, because obviously it's been longer than 2 years now, right?
It has been. It's almost been 4 years since
Yeah.
my initial diagnosis.
So like first, do you feel like giving up or like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be for real and honest because I'm very open about mental health. I went
Yeah.
into a state of depression. It was my mom that got me out of it. That is why I tried out for Tulsa Oilers, because I wanted to live my life. I didn't want this to take me out.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
my mom got me out of that depression. My family got me out of that depression. And I said, I've got to live my life. I can't let this destroy me. I'm way too young. I have way too much ahead of me. I'm not going to let it kill me. And
Yeah.
I didn't. I fought it. We did all kinds of things together as a family. And they were my best support. My boyfriend was there for me. My best friend was there for me. It was a hard time, but at the same time, it was a fantastic time because I got to spend so much time with everybody that I loved. I had so much support behind me. I still do. It was a hard time, very, very hard time, very taxing time on my family, but it was also a great time because we became so close, all of us. Yeah.
So like when did that kind of that depression flip over to hope? Was there a certain time or a certain place where you're like, all right, we're flipping it, or was it kind of just over time?
I don't remember the exact day, but I just remember being in my room because after I was diagnosed with cancer, I just kind of hid out in my room. I hardly ever came out. I just didn't want to do anything. I had no motivation to do anything. I even remember just laying in bed most days, not even getting up. I was that done with everything. I just remember one day my mom came upstairs in my room and she was like, you really need to do something other than laying around. Like, I know you're really depressed, but you cannot let this eat you up. This is not like you. You have to do something. So I listened to her because my mom knows best. And I didn't want to, I didn't want to leave my family too early. Right. I didn't want to leave this world too early. So I was like, I have to do something for them and I have to do something for myself. So I just started doing stuff. I created a TikTok account. I started making videos and I just started doing things that made me happy. And then my best friend encouraged me to try out for the Oilers. And then after I was done with treatment, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to. And then I did. And I was so ecstatic when I found out that I made it. Right. I mean, I was surprised, very surprised. Honestly, thought they weren't going to take me because I knew I wasn't at my fullest potential, but they had faith in me and I was really glad that they did. And I'm very thankful for them as well to this day.
Man. Oh, so like when your mom sounds like a rock star.
She is.
Your mom sounds like a rock star.
She's my hero.
I mean, to think about like going up to your daughter's room where you think like, all right, she has a great excuse of why she doesn't want to get out of bed, right?
Yes.
But to also think like, I have a good chance of losing my daughter in 2 years and go up and have that conversation with you. Like, maybe I should have your mom on the podcast too.
she's a really interesting person too.
I might have her on the pod. So like, did you going through chemo? Because obviously I've never been through chemo, and to be honest, I hope I never have to.
I don't wish it upon anyone.
But like, how long is that treatment?
It depends.
Okay.
It just depends.
And did you have stage 3 or 4?
So initially they told me that I had glioblastoma grade 4, but that is not actually what I have. They actually don't know what I have. Okay. And so we're still trying to figure that out. But we do know that it's a makeup of certain things, but there's just not a name for it in a medical textbook right now. Okay. So it's an undiagnosed brain cancer.
So do you think that's kind of cool, or do you think, do you get to name it? I mean,
I don't know if I get to name it. I mean, I hope when they do name it, they contact me. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's how it kind of goes. Like,
it is kind of interesting. Or whatever. It is kind of interesting, but it's also kind of
like
weird at the same time, because it's like you're possibly going to be talked about at, science conventions and medical textbooks about this very rare cancer that they've never seen anywhere else.
What would you name it?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I think you should do something like Native American, like a Native American dude, like that. I think you should be able to name it.
I've thought about something like that, like something warrior-ish, definitely.
What would it be? What's like a warrior name in like?
Well, so in my language, warrior in Choctaw is Tushka.
Tushka brain cancer. Doesn't sound bad.
I mean, like, my saying is Tushka Nawa'aya, which means a warrior's journey.
See, I would use that whole thing.
Probably.
Yeah, I would use that whole thing. Which we're going to touch on your Native American heritage here in just a second, because you actually informed me of some really cool stuff before we started the podcast, because that's how it goes, Sarah. You never start the camera on time. And we miss all. I'm sorry. See that's the look she gives me. So going through chemo, did you lose all your hair?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
Brain cancer, depending on what you have to do, is a little different than like most cancers. So with brain cancer, depending on how progressive the cancer is, you might have to lose your hair depending on what type of treatment steps for that radiation that you have to go through, or you might not have to. But the chemo itself does not make you lose your hair for brain cancer. Okay. It's the radiation and the caps that they use for people who have like glioblastoma and stuff like that. So the only hair that I lost was from radiation, and it was almost half of my head. I mean, it was on the right side of my head. It was all the way from it started all the way from here, and then went all the way to the back of my head.
So did you have to shave your whole head?
I did not.
Oh, okay, so you just only had part of your hair? So
Yeah,
like,
just part of my hair was missing.
So you just rock it?
Yes,
you just rocked it?
I did. I just
That's
accepted
awesome.
it, and I mean, I had some people make fun of me in public, but I was like, hey, I'm whatever.
Well, they should get punched in the face. Not me, but
they probably didn't understand, that I was going through a medical crisis, but
Yeah.
That's okay. People are ignorant,
Yeah.
and that's them.
Right.
Miseducation is real.
Yeah, man. So like, all right. So you get through chemo, you try out for the Oilers, you make the Oilers, but you're still not yet out of cancer. Like, do you still have cancer, or how's that work?
So basically, I am currently done with treatment, and I have been off of chemo for about 2 years now.
Okay.
So the only thing that we're doing right now is I do MRIs like every 6 months to a year, and that's just a checkup to make sure that there are no new tumors growing in my brain.
Okay.
And I have not had any seizures either since my brain surgery, so that's a very thankful blessing as well. No seizures.
Okay.
Yeah.
So So are you considered cancer-free
I'm not
yet, or
technically
no?
considered cancer-free. I'm not even in remission yet.
Oh, you're not even in remission.
No,
Okay.
but I did survive, treatment and everything like that. So technically I am a brain cancer survivor because I'm here today.
And that's something, like, I was thinking about this when I was thinking about what I was going to say in your intro, and it really, I think, to define survivorship is depends on the person. For me, what I think of survivorship is someone that doesn't give up.
Right.
And for you to still go out, talk about different things, to go out and perform as a Tulsa Oiler, to come on this podcast and not let cancer from the help of your mom make you depressed and stay in your room.
Yes.
I consider you a survivor.
Thank you.
So so I think we should put that down in the dictionary. My definition, that long-winded definition that I just gave. So you get the Tulsa Oilers. Did you know how to ice hockey? Do you know how to skate?
Not really.
Because I was looking through your
yeah.
Instagram and I saw you skating around. I'm like, oh, cool.
Not really. So actually, I had only been ice skating maybe a couple of times prior to being on the team. I actually decided to go to the learn to skate classes for a little bit at the ice center, and that's where I learned to skate. And then I kind of just started just practicing on my own, and then I was just like, well, I got it now, it's consistent, so I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I don't fall anymore. It's okay.
What year was it when you got, so was that 2022? No.
2022 is when I tried out.
Or
Yes.
2022 is when you tried out.
Yes.
So you got to be on the ice skating, doing that stuff.
Yes.
And then the indoor football team came out and you tried out for that too? Or does all the ice girls go straight over to being on the Gold Squad?
Oh no, we all have to try out.
Oh, you try out again?
Yes, we all have to try out for Gold Squad. If you want to try, if you're an ice girl and you want to try out for Gold Squad, you have to try out, just like
okay.
everybody else who is outside of the organization.
So does a lot of the ice girls do the Gold Squad, or
Some of them do, yeah.
Some
Some
of
of them have tried out. Some of them just decide not to, and that's a personal choice, and that's okay. But yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I know a girl that used to be on the ice squad, Brooke Bellinger.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you know Brooke?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think she was an ice girl way back when, but maybe like 2020, 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's not that long ago. Sorry, Brooke. That's not long. That's not. I act like it was like back in 1980s. My friend Brooke did it. No. She's young. But what year did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2016.
Okay. So, which one do you like better? Do you like doing hockey or football?
I like them both, honestly.
Oh,
but
that's such a politically right answer. Come
style,
on.
Dance style wise, I love the Gold Squad because it's more sassier, it's jazzy. So that's me to a T.
So you have to have different styles and different, like, for the Oilers versus the.
Well, I think it's
football,
because
hockey?
our director wanted to make sure that there is a difference between Ice Girls and Gold Squad.
She did a really good job on that.
I agree.
She did a wonderful, because I think there is a difference.
Yes.
Watching,
she wanted that, yes.
She definitely did.
She wanted to make sure that people didn't confuse the two because we are different squads, but there are some girls that are on the squads at the same time. So but yeah, she wanted everyone to make sure that the style was different. I mean, some of the moves are the same, but yeah, I mean, the majority of it is
So how would you
jazz.
define the difference of dance? And then I'll think about if I'll tell you the way I define the difference. So how would you define the difference between the Tulsa Ice Girls versus the Oilers Gold Squad?
So dance style wise, Ice Girls is more palm style, so very sharp, very fast, just precise movements. Gold Squad is more jazz and it's like just like sassy jazz and more like professional cheerleader style, like more like DCC style. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I would.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
If I would compare us to a team, it'd probably be like little miniature DCC cheerleaders. Yeah.
So what does DDC mean?
Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. DCC. Yeah.
So DCC is the Tulsa football team.
No, DCC is Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
No, I'm sorry. Tulsa Oilers indoor. That's the style for the Gold Squad.
Sorry. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
The way that they dance is sort of like how we dance too. Yeah.
Because when I go, because I've been to a couple of Tulsa Oilers games now, because I go and record them. Because what I like doing is I like spreading or shedding light on things to do here in Tulsa.
Absolutely.
And some of the things that people don't really know or people don't go to. That's restaurants or things to do. So I feel like what Tulsa Oilers has with the hockey team and football team, even though I wish they name them differently because it's so hard to tell them the difference if you just say Tulsa Oilers, is I just want to shed light on that because Tulsa used to have an indoor football team, Tulsa Talons.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but I never went to a game. I never supported it.
Went to a game either,
so
unfortunately.
After I found out that we had a football team again, I was like, hey, I'm supporting this team. Like, I'm going to go shoot. I'm going to go record it. I'm going to go to games. I'm going to show my support. And so I went to a couple of them, and I was watching the dance squad, and I was like, dang, these girls dance. So actually, I'm going to tell you what I was thinking. I was like, they dance like sexy, like kind of like you said, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Like
it's entertainment.
Yeah.
For the family, we try to make it very family oriented.
Right. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said sexy then. But it was great. I mean, you guys dance really, really well. You guys are out in the stadium. Mm-hmm. You guys don't just stay on the field. You guys are out in the stadium. You guys ride in on Harleys.
Oh yeah, that's really fun.
Awesome.
It's fun.
And then the other cool thing you guys do is you guys are down on the field after the game for fans to come down and meet you.
Yes.
And so I went with a couple of people that we went down, and the little girls were pumped because you guys give them like pictures.
Yes.
And then they get signatures.
Yes.
So do you like doing that?
I absolutely love it. Honestly, that's probably one of my favorite parts about being a part of the dance team for the Oilers is interacting with the fans. Honestly, I love talking to the little kids because when I was a kid, I looked up to the bigger girls always around me in my environment. So as I'm an adult now, I want to be that inspiration for just maybe even one child that wants to be, a dancer or aspires to be a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any funny stories about kids coming down there and want to take pictures with you?
I mean, I have some funny stories. I've had little boys ask me for my number before.
Oh, what up? It's from your dancing. I don't blame them.
Little boys, they're not shy.
Hey, I'm not mad at them. That's bold, man. Shoot your shot. 12-year-old shooting his shot. Yeah, whatever. So what are some other things that you kind of like about the Tulsa Oilers, about the football team? Because that's what I enjoy. I think the thing for me is I understand football better than hockey. I mean, I enjoy going to the hockey games. Don't get me wrong. But going to the football games are sick. So do you guys have to get there early?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
We do. We have to get there a few hours early before the game, actually.
Here's the question. Is it, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to.
Right.
But you have to answer it. Is it volunteer? Is it a volunteer job? Like for being a cheerleader? Like, is it volunteer? Like you don't get paid for it?
Oh, so actually we sign a contract that we have to appear at a certain amount of games and appearances. Yes.
So you are a professional cheerleader?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
So you're a professional cheerleader.
Yeah, the IFL is a professional league, so I am a professional cheerleader. Yes.
Well, good for you. Good for you. I should have started with saying professional cheerleader.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah.
No, okay. I'll redo it. We'll redo it. No, I'm just kidding. We won't redo it. But that's great. That's great. I love that. So how much longer are you going to do this for?
I honestly don't know. I want to do it.
When are you out of your prime of a cheerleader?
I don't know.
Since I already asked you all this personal information, and asked.
I don't know. I think it's for as long as you can go, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the average age for professional? Like, when are you in your prime?
I would say probably, I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of girls, like, not even just like in surrounding states, but like other states too across the country. I've seen a lot of girls who have been on the team and they're in their 30s. I think you can dance for a while.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think some of the girls on, maybe, because I'm watching that Netflix series, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleader.
Oh, yes,
what is it
America's Sweethearts.
Yes.
I already finished that.
You already finished that?
Yes.
Was that good?
Oh, it was really good, yeah.
Man, that's crazy that they do all that stuff, and I think they make like, what is it, 35,000? I mean,
they don't make very much.
They don't make very much.
No,
and
it's not on a livable salary at all. No. They have to also have full-time jobs and or being at school. I mean, they have to be doing something.
And the crazy thing is that most of them are okay with it, or at least they seem, because that was kind of like their dream to be the American sweetheart.
One of the girls on the team, she retired last season. She had been on the team for 5 seasons, and she was the head leader. That means that she was the girl that was at the very point of the star. Kelsey, she retired. She's a nurse, and she is actually like a home health nurse for pediatrics. So she actually takes care of people in their homes. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Which we have people on our teams too have full-time jobs as well. And, you know, they're living their life other than doing the Oilers stuff, which we have to as well. We have to have a job or, you know, be in school. We have to be doing something other than just dancing.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many hours a week do you put into, like, cheerleading or, like, going to appearances, going to games? About, like, if it was like a 40-hour-a-week job, like, how many hours?
Just depends. I mean, there are some weeks where we don't even have promos, and there's some weeks where we do, but games are normally for football. Games are normally every other week or every 2 weeks, just depending on what the schedule is. And then promos, we normally have maybe 1 promo a week, maybe even no promos a week. I don't know. I would say maybe.
How many days a week do you practice?
One.
Okay, so you just have to go to practice one time a week.
And then we practice the day of the game as well.
So what time do you have to be at the game?
Quite early.
Like games
kickoff
at 7.
Yes, kickoff at 7.
And then
so we have to be there at like between like 12 to 1 o'clock.
Okay, and then you're not getting out there because you guys, once again, you guys are staying after the game to sign, so you guys aren't getting out there till midnight.
Oh yeah, close to it. Yeah. We get out of there maybe even like closer to 11. Yeah. Jeez. It's late.
Yeah. Dang. But yeah, going back to Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, I think it was super interesting that they liked it. But they make so much money from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. I think.
Oh yes, they do. Yes, as an organization, they make bank off those girls.
Because I watched the first episode, and that was kind of the reason. Like they were like, "Hey, we need to do something with these Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders because we need to start making money." Because I think it was costing them money at the very beginning, or maybe they were breaking even. And whatever they did, man, they did it good.
That's when they hired Kelly, and
Kelly turned it around. That's right. Kelly turned it around.
Kelly turned it around.
Yep. I think it was probably the TV show Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders that they had that really helped it too.
Oh yes, the Making It the Team show definitely gave them a lot of notoriety as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is so interesting.
Yes.
So interesting. But yeah, you guys do a great job, and I love watching it.
Thank you. We love putting on a show for everyone at the games.
It's just I know I want to kind of get to the next subject, but I just keep on thinking about the game, and the games are so. It's just like so good entertainment. Like I had Josh Crockett.
Yes.
On my podcast, and that episode actually comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool.
But, so definitely recommend watching it. But we were talking about it. Like even with one of the games I went to, we lost, but I still had a blast.
Oh yeah.
Like the indoor football, and I'm not getting paid to say this, by the way, at all. It's just like from the entertainment from you guys, from the actual game itself, and then also like indoor football is so cool because if the ball goes out in the stadium, you keep the ball.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like how many balls do you think they go through in a game?
Quite a bit. I'm sure quite a bit. Yeah.
It's crazy. And the games aren't very expensive to go to.
Yes, right.
That's the other thing I love. I'm kind of cheap. So I like going.
Inflation these days.
Yeah, inflation.
You know?
Hey, I'm telling you what, the inflation did not affect ticket prices for a
No.
Tulsa Oilers football game.
No.
So if you haven't been to one, here's a plug. Go to a Tulsa Oilers football game. Plug. So you're on your other. We'll just go off your Instagram bio here. So you are a Native American activist. What is that?
So basically, I speak up for Native Americans. We are an oppressed group, and it's important that people know that. I mean, it is 2024, but there are a lot of things that people don't know about Native Americans, and we are an oppressed group. We only make up a very small percentage in the country, even though this is our indigenous land.
You guys were here first.
Yes.
You guys were here first. And you taught me something. So you are part of the Choctaw tribe.
Yes.
But you are also part of a subset of the Choctaw tribe called the Mississippi Band.
Yes, I'm Mississippi Band.
Wait, did I say that right?
Yes.
Subset?
Yeah, it's basically what it is, yeah.
Okay. I just put it in layman terms so I can understand. And you taught me what that meant, which was super interesting. And I was going to attempt to try to say it, but I'm going to let you talk about it. So what is Mississippi Band?
So Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians who are in Oklahoma are people whose family was removed from Mississippi after the initial removals. So there was the initial removals in the 1830s, which is also known as the Trail of Tears. And then there's also the final removals, which occurred in the early 1900s. That is when my family was moved, and that is why we are known as Mississippi Band in Oklahoma.
Yeah, which I thought so interesting, that not all the Native American tribes came on the Trail of Tears. Some of them stayed back and hid out. And
they did, yes.
Like you're, but did they get found? And that's the reason why they moved over here?
So they were actually found, yes. They were found, and they were basically coerced into coming, like promised something, and when they got there, that's not what they were promised.
Yeah, not what they promised at all.
They were promised a lot of things, and when they got there, that was not what they were promised. It was torture for them, basically.
Yeah. I mean, you learn about this stuff in elementary school, but it didn't really hit me about the Trail of Tears until, I don't know, I was probably out of college. I was just thinking back on it. I was like, we learned about this in elementary school, but so many Native Americans died.
It's also very lightly touched on.
Yeah.
Too. Very, just a smidge on the surface.
Kind of really jacked up.
Yes.
Really messed up. Like, we come over here, we're like, hey, we'll take your land, then also walk hundreds of miles, and then also we're going to give you blankets with smallpox and all that other stuff to hopefully you don't make it on the trip. It's
greed and power.
Lightly. Yeah.
Greed and power. That is what fueled all of that. Yeah.
It's kind of karma, though, because then we moved you to Oklahoma where there's so much oil. And then they're like, oh, well, give us some of that land back.
Right.
And it's like, dude, what? That's crazy. That's crazy. You're going to move them here, and then you're like, oh, we gave them some really good land that has a lot of oil on it, and we're going to try to take that back too.
Yep.
So dumb. So dumb. My mom's also an all-star, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not from Oklahoma. I'm from the Houston area.
Oh, okay.
Texas. And when I moved to Oklahoma in middle school, my mom is a very wonderful woman and very smart woman, and she was like, hey, I want to get you cultured. We're going to go to different Native American museums, go to different powwows and things like that. And I was a typical middle school kid and was like, Mom, this is dumb. I don't want to go to any of this crap. I just want to stay home and play my Xbox and not do any of this. But I will say I went to a powwow. It was the Ponca tribe, because I lived in Ponca City.
Yes.
And they're
Plains people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they had like dancers, I believe.
Yeah.
They have dancers. I think it was Ponca. Maybe it was Osage. I don't remember. I went to some powwow, and they were doing the dancing thing. What's it called? Is there a certain name for the dancing?
There's all kinds of dances that people do at powwow. Powwow is a Plains tribe thing. I'm Southeastern, so I actually don't do powwow. We are stomp culture.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. And the reason why I ask so many questions is I just don't want to get canceled for saying something stupid. And they're like, oh, he's so ignorant. He's just saying dancing thing and whatever. Cancel me. But it was so cool.
Yeah, there's all kinds of dances.
And those
powwow.
Costumes are
they're regalia.
Yeah, they're so expensive.
Oh yes, they're a lot of time and work and love.
They're all handmade.
Oh yes, love, energy, medicine that goes into those pieces. It's fantastic.
Yeah, because I was
an absolute admiration when I see, especially like the jingle dress dancers.
Yes,
beautiful.
Oh, it's so cool.
Beautiful, yeah.
And that's when my mom took me to one of those, I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. I haven't been to a powwow since, but
Actually, the first powwow was held in Oklahoma, and it was actually entertainment for the Caucasian public, because that was the only way that that Indians at the time could practice their ways, was entertainment for the white public. Yes.
So that's how I learned of it. So I guess it's still working. I'm pretty white. Yeah, that's very interesting. So they didn't do powwows back in the day.
No.
So that was.
Powwow is it's basically a mixture of tribes coming together and dancing together, and it's an intertribal community thing.
And that was made for the white man?
Yes, it was basically, at first, that's what it was used for, was for entertainment for, the white public. And because at the time, Native Americans were legally not allowed to practice their culture, their ways, our religions, everything. That was so there was only a few ways that we could do it. And with powwow, that was for the plains people. It was for entertainment for the white people, whereas stomp people, which is my culture, southeastern people, we would stomp at night. So that way, when people are in bed sleeping, we're out practicing our culture. We're out doing ceremony.
So it's called stomp?
Yeah.
So is that like a type of dance, or is
it
that?
It is. It's a type of dance, yeah.
Okay. And so do you just like stomp? Is that kind
you
of
do.
like,
You have, so traditionally back in the day, our people would probably be wearing turtle shells around their shins, and they put pea pebbles, little river rocks inside, and it makes a chick 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 chick, and you stomp your feet,
and it gets it to.
Yes.
Oh man, that's really cool how they kind of made up instruments through what the land gave them.
Yes.
Which is that's really cool. So so your dad is almost full-blooded.
He's
Native
almost
American.
full blood, but yes, yeah.
So when did you really get into or did your parents kind of get you in? Obviously your dad being almost full kind of, get you into it, but like when did you kind of take the activist role, or were you always kind of wanted to take the role?
I've always wanted to take the role. Ever since I was a child, my dad has just taught me about just a lot of things.
Is your dad, would you consider your dad an activist?
He is. He's actually been an activist for AIM, which is the American Indian Movement, for over 30 years. The American Indian Movement is one of the very well-known organization within Indian country. And if you've ever heard of Leonard Peltier, then you know about AIM.
No, I don't know. Tell me about Leonard, what is his name?
Peltier.
Yeah. Is he?
So Leonard Peltier was accused of killing FBI agents in the 70s, and he was sent to prison. And he's actually still been in prison since then. And he was falsely accused, and that was even proven in court documents and even later documentaries made about Wounded Knee that occurred in the 70s.
So he's still in prison right now?
He's still in prison right now, and we are actually currently, AIM and a lot of other organizations are currently trying to, get him pardoned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you guys close to that?
We have no idea. We've sent letters to Donald Trump. We've sent letters to Biden. So we just hope.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who that was. So hopefully someone watches that and helps out and, does that. There's another thing that's going on right now in Oklahoma, or maybe just passed about.
You talking about the McGirt ruling?
Yeah, maybe that was it. What is that?
So the McGirt ruling is in regards to an old treaty from the late 1800s in Oklahoma. Basically, it deciphered, where the reservations stood at versus what was not considered Indian land. And basically, the tribes that fall under the McGirt ruling are the 5 civilized tribes.
And the 5 civilized tribes are, let me see, this is a test.
Sure.
Osage?
Mm-hmm.
Cherokee?
Yep.
Muskogee?
Creek. Yes.
Creek. Choctaw's not in there, is it?
Yes.
Oh, Choctaw is in there.
Choctaw, yeah.
Don't tell me the last one. Sarah, do you know it? All right, go ahead and say it, Sarah. Chickasaw.
Yes.
Yep.
Chickasaw.
Lucky these mics can't pick up Sarah, so they don't know that she gave me the answer until I just said it. So those 5 tribes are, and it's basically the McGirt What's the name of the treaty?
The tribe that goes for the Dancing Rabbit Creek Treaty is for Choctaw people.
Okay.
All of the other tribes, they have treaties of their own, and I don't know anything about those.
So what does this ruling basically mean?
So the McGirt ruling, it basically just deciphers that, this is status of reservation land, and the state has to recognize that, and that is in regards to ticketing people, like for police officers. Like that's why some officers are cross-deputized and some are not. It's kind of a complicated subject, but
do you think this is a good ruling? Or
oh yes,
you do? Okay.
It's very important for us because we're federal, Native Americans, we're federal people and we're sovereign nations. But it's important that we have the means to build up our court systems, and we have not been able to do that over the years because our state has been taking those funds away when they ticket Native Americans, when they prosecute Native Americans, instead of having our own court systems.
Okay. So like, I remember, because I lived in Park City, and there was like, was it called Nation Police? There was like a whole different police force.
Light Horse. Are you talking about Light Horse or Tribal Police?
Tribal Police.
Yeah.
So does that, because I guess I when I lived in Ponca City, I saw it a lot more because we lived pretty close to different reservations and things like that. I don't really see it too much here in Tulsa, or I just don't really maybe it just blends in. Does Tribal Police, is that still does tribes still have police?
Yeah.
Okay.
The tribes have always had tribal police. They just haven't had reservation status, but they've had tribal police within their nations.
Okay.
Yeah, in Oklahoma. Yeah.
So how would that work? So if am I driving near a reservation and I was speeding, would I get a ticket by tribal police, or do you know that?
I actually don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure about that part.
Yeah.
I do know for like me, if I'm driving in an area that is native land, and I get pulled over, if the cop is not cross-deputized, he either has the choice of waiting for Light Horse or he can just send me on my way if it's just a simple traffic violation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Do you get like cheaper tickets? Like
no.
It's like the what's it called, Little Light Horse? No, Light Horse.
Light Horse.
Light Horse. So like they'll give you a ticket?
Yeah, that's tribal police. They can give me a ticket all day.
Is it more expensive?
I have no idea. I have actually never
just don't speed.
I have never been pulled over by tribal police.
Oh, okay, good.
That's a good thing.
Good.
Which I try my best to not get pulled over, period. So.
Yeah, right. I think that's probably a smarter move. Like, I wonder, I'm gonna speed here and see what the ticket would be. The other question I had for you, because I had someone ask me about when that ruling came out.
Oh yeah.
A couple of years ago, because I'm in real estate.
I think it was like 2020 or something.
Yeah, it was
like
2020. Yeah. And someone asked me, like, because they were thinking about buying property, in this area, and they were like, "Hey, what does this ruling mean for, if I bought land in this area?" Because it's pretty much all over the Tulsa area that this ruling passed.
Yes, this is Cherokee and Creek lands.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, what would that mean for them if they bought land or bought a house in this area? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Because it kind of just opened up something where I think a lot of people still have questions about it. Like, what does this actually mean?
Honestly, I'm not sure about that part. I don't think it means anything about.
I don't know either.
Because by now, the allotment lands are not in possession. Most of the time, they're not even in possession of their families or descendants of the families anymore. So they've been bought up already. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of areas within Tulsa that were used to be allotment lands, and they've already been bought up by big corporations and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. The other cool thing about that I really love about the Native American tribes is I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to rehab out in Oklahoma City, and I actually met some people that were part of different tribes that got assistance from the tribes. So one of my buddies, really good friend, got his detox and actual rehab paid for through the tribe, which was awesome. But there's other things at the tribes, not just for rehabs, but housing, healthcare, and things like that. So that's really, really cool. Like, does all tribes do that?
I'm not sure if all tribes do that, but I do know for a fact that like the tribes in Oklahoma, like they offer that. Yeah.
So like Choctaw, they have like a lot of things that help.
Yeah. We have services. We have services for school. I mean, college. I mean, even down right to technology, textbooks. I mean, all kinds of stuff. There's Cherokees. I know that they really offer a whole lot for their citizens as well.
Yeah. Did the Choctaw Nation have a language? Or
like,
I guess
you
all
mean like
Native
you mean like a alphabet, like a syllabary, like Cherokee people?
Yeah.
No, we do not.
Okay, but you guys did. Does anybody in Choctaw still speak the native language?
Oh, I'm sure there are a few fluent speakers still. There's not very many, but yes, there are still some fluent speakers.
Yeah, because there was another tribe that there wasn't. I forgot what it was. I was reading or watching something, which I thought was so cool that they had their own language, but it's kind of sad because it's kind of going away.
It is. Our languages are dying, and it's very unfortunate. I mean, even me, like, I'm still learning.
Are you trying to learn it?
I'm still trying to learn it. I know some things, of course, because I grew up listening to my dad talk, Can
your dad speak it?
He can speak Choctaw, but he's not fluent, but he can speak. I mean, he can communicate with, people, but, once he gets around elders, it's kind of hard because the elders are the fluent speakers, and we're losing elders faster.
And they can still speak it?
They can still speak it, yeah.
That's crazy.
The elders speak it, yeah, but we're still learning. I mean, there's things that he learns every day. It's an everyday learning process. I mean, it's kind of, we joke about it, but it's kind of a little joyful inside when you learn some silly thing like how to say "I like potatoes" in your native language.
Do you know how to say that?
I don't, but that's what we joke about, like stuff like that. It's kind of like when you learn something new about who you are, and that ancient thing about you that you weren't around to see or be a part of, it's fulfilling.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, so, like, what is the goal in being an activist? So would you just want to spread education on what tribe or what, Native American heritage is and things? Is that kind of the goal behind being an activist?
It's also about spreading awareness, about making sure people understand that we are an oppressed group and that we have rights just like everybody else, and it's important that those rights are recognized because those rights have been stripped away from us in the past, and they're still being stripped away from us till this day. We're still trying to fight for things that were promised to us and have not been given to us. The treaties, for instance, not all of them are recognized, so we're still trying to fight for that.
So what are some other ones? Just because I'm oblivious, right? I don't know. I'm not Native American. Like I just don't know. If you don't mind,
sure.
Asking, what are some?
A big one is hunting and fishing.
Ooh,
yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about this.
A big one is hunting and fishing. There is a treaty that is about hunting and fishing, and it basically says that we as Native Americans are supposed to be allowed to hunt and fish as long as there's animals roaming the grass and there's fish in the sea and the rivers and that the waters are flowing. As long as everything is still alive and growing and flourishing, we should be allowed to hunt and fish it because we're not putting things into extinction. We know how to preserve, but that's not promised to us, unfortunately.
So you're saying one of the things is here in Oklahoma and probably
we shouldn't have to have a license,
right?
Yes, to hunt and fish. That's what we mean,
right?
Yes,
right.
But we have to pay for it just like everyone else, and we shouldn't have to.
Right. Yeah. Right, that makes sense. What's another one? Can you think of another one?
Oh Lord, there's.
I know I just put you on the spot.
There's quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, on the spot, I can't really think of. That was the hunting and fishing. What about, big one.
Here's another one for you. Governor Stint just rolled out about and once again, I'm oblivious. I don't know anything. I just know there's something about tags and driver cars and things like. So what is the special tag for your car? Like, what is that? What was the ruling?
So some people, if you're Native American, you do not have to have a tribal tag. I mean, that's not a requirement at all.
Okay.
So there's plenty of Native Americans in the state of Oklahoma that don't have a tribal tag, but some of us do. But
and what's the benefit of that?
There's really not a benefit. It's just to specify the person who owns this car is Native American. And sometimes with, our tribes, we get sort of like a discount to do a tribal plate, especially if you're with Cherokee. Now, Choctaws, what they do is they have you pay full price for what you would pay,
right.
For a tag. And then they reimburse you the rest. I think they reimburse you 20% or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, 20%. I can go to a lot of Tulsa Oilers football games with 20%, you know?
But they reimburse you later, but it's different for every tribe. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so what, Governor Stent was getting rid of that?
I actually don't know the full extent of that, but I just know that he's very challenging when it comes to the tribes. He pushes back.
Isn't he Cherokee?
He is, but not really.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. He is, but he's registered Cherokee, but he's not really by blood.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, it's like marriage type of thing?
Well, sort of more like his family. There's claims that his family paid agents under the table to get, like, back when the Dawes rolls were being made, you know, and all of those rolls were being made, there was claims from an insider for the nation that his family member had come to make claims that his family was Native American. And
did that happen a lot?
Oh, that happened quite a bit, yes. Yes, there was actually, I don't know how many claims there was, but there was quite a bit of people who were actually not Native American that would go and try to get on there just so they could get allotment. They thought they were going to get something, like money, something. Yeah, it was all a money grab is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it always comes down to. It's money. Money.
Which that's not necessarily 100% confirmed, but it's been strongly talked about that his family is not really Cherokee. But Cherokee Nation also has their own constitution, and within their constitution, they have rules that specify they cannot just remove somebody, you know, off of the citizenship just because. Right. That's in their policy. Yeah.
And so Oklahoma also has the most Native Americans per capita, right? Is that Oklahoma?
I actually am not sure, but I know that we are among the states that have the highest population.
Highest population.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know Alaska is up there, Arizona is up there. Yeah.
So how did Native Americans get over there? Did they just always been over there, or did they travel from?
So in Alaska, you have your Inuits and Inuks, and they've always been there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what about Arizona? Did they just stay there and they didn't have to go with the Trail of Tears?
Well, actually, it just depends because there's just a certain time period for certain removals. Like the reason why the 5 civilized tribes are called the 5 civilized tribes is because the American government realized that group of tribes were easily assimilated. They were more easily assimilated compared to other tribes in the states.
Okay.
Yes, that's why we are the 5 civilized tribes, because we were easily assimilated compared to the Plains Indians. The Plains Indians were a lot more, you know, pushback-ish against the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like the 5 civilized tribes is kind of in the name of like, hey, we'll play ball because we don't want to probably go to war, and we don't want more of our people to die.
They were a lot more willing to kind of put the surrender flag up and give away, you know, well, we'll give away this if you'll just leave us alone, sort of thing. Yeah.
And then they moved you across the country and then try to kill you that way. That's crazy, yo. That blows my mind. Yeah, like I said, we learned about it in school, but we didn't really.
Yeah, it's barely touched upon. And even when I was a kid, I'm sure my teachers didn't like me, but oh well, I was the child that would raise my hand and be like, actually, that's wrong, and I'd correct them. And sorry.
You're like, Saige, stop.
They just look at me like I was weird. I'm like, I know you're my teacher, but I just want to make sure everyone knows this is not correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you wearing? What kind of earrings are these? Those are pretty
these
cool.
are beaded earrings.
So are those homemade or?
They are. This is actually made from a lady up north.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. And then the bandana is also something.
This is a kokum scarf. This is actually from the Ojibwe culture. The Ojibwe culture is up north, and which a lot of people in powwow, they also wear kokum scarves around their belts and stuff.
Yeah.
When they dance.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, Saige, what else? What are sign off stuff? Like, what is something else or anything you want to talk about yourself, or where they can find you, or if you want them to find you on social media?
Well, if you want to find me in public, you can definitely find me at a game, the football games, or a hockey game.
And if you're under the age of 12, you can attempt to ask for our phone number, but anything above 12, like, do not ask, because you are taken.
Yes.
You are taken.
Yes.
You do have a boyfriend.
Yes.
You do have a boyfriend.
Yes.
Which is good. So Tulsa Oilers, where they can find you. They got a game coming up. Actually, this weekend, but this podcast probably won't be out for a couple weeks. So I think the season might be over, but definitely check you out. Tulsa Oilers hockey next year.
Yes, I'm going to try out. So hopefully I make it again.
You got to try out every year?
Yes, I have to try out every year. Yeah.
Oh,
that's fair. It's fair that way. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as long as you think it's fair.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm not trying out. So. And then last thing about your cancer. So how many more? You get one more year, and then you're technically in remission, or no?
So I actually don't know how long they're going to wait until they tell me I'm in remission yet.
Okay. So
it could be a while. But they basically told me that once I'm told that I'm in remission, then it'd be probably about 5 more years after that till I'm completely cancer free. Yeah.
Okay.
But as of right now, there has been no new tumors, so that's good. So hopefully there's no cancer going on up there or anywhere.
Yeah, I hope so too. Well, Saige, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, I was gonna shake your hand.
Oh.
Sorry, my bad.
No,
That was my fault. So thanks for watching. And if you want to see if you want to watch the next episode, make sure you stay tuned to the People of Oklahoma podcast. Thanks.
Thank you.